Let's go to our DB Movie database and look at all the records in the TBL movie table. It looks like we have 5 movies. Now let's say there was a slight typo that needs an update. This A-list explorers should be A-list explorers. So let's make an update. We want to update the M_title for the first record to have a new value. Just type update and then type the name of the table. We are going to set the field M_title equals A-list explorers. Okay, let's run this and see if it fixes our record. It says 5 rows affected. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Oh, look, it changed the first one to A-list explorers, but it also changed all of them. That's because I didn't have a where condition. Well, looks like I kind of hosed this database. That's okay. We were planning for such a contingency. Let me change this back to the master and rerun the Lab 6.2 reset script, which will drop the database, create it, use it, create the table, and then put all the data back that we wanted. Now let's purposely make it so it doesn't have a hyphen the first time we run it. So let's do this. Okay, great. Now if we go back here and look at all of our movies in the DB Movie database, what does it look like? Okay, now what we need to do here is put a criterion and say where the movie ID is equal to 1. Just update that record. So it should only change this to A-list explorers and leave all the other ones the same. It says 1 row affected. Let's look at our records. Great, that's exactly what we were looking for. You can use a join in an update statement the same way you use a join in a select statement. Let's start off by looking at all of the records of the employee table, and it looks like we have 12. And how much do these employees make? Well, there's no field in here that tells me how much they make. What we would need to do is make an inner join from the employee table to the pay rates table on the EmpID field, because that's what they have in common. Okay, let's run that. We get a lot of fields now. Alex Adams makes $75,000 per year, Barry Brown makes $78,000, Leo Sacco makes $45 an hour, Dave Kenson makes $6,500 per month, and so forth. Now what we want to see is what the employees who work for Manager 11 make. So we'll say where Manager ID equals 11. Okay, let's fit everybody in, and it looks like we have 2 yearly salaried employees, 1 hourly employee, and 3 monthly paid employees. We want to narrow it down further to just look for the employees who work for Manager 11 who are yearly. We can see that there are just 2, but let's go ahead and say, and yearly salary is not null, and run this query. There we go. The 2 yearly salaried employees that work for Manager 11 are listed. Now we need to do a join because one of the pieces of criteria, Manager ID, is from the employee table, and the other piece of criteria, the yearly salary, is from the other table, the pay rates table. Let's say our next goal is to give every yearly salary worker who works for Manager ID 11 a $10,000 per year raise. In other words, our update and set statement will be on one table, but our where condition will be on the other table. Well, that's actually pretty easy. Watch this. Copy the select statement just as it is and paste it down here. So we have 2 identical statements. Now all we need to do is change the first line from select to update, and we're going to update which table? The pay rates table. And we're going to set the yearly salary is equal to whatever the employee's salary was plus 10,000. Let's run the select query to see. Remember, they had 75,000 and 78,000. It says 2 rows affected. Now it's 85,000 and 88,000. Now please note that if I just run the top 3 lines of the query to see everybody again, we see that these lines have changed, but the yearly amount for Lisa Kendall and others has not changed. So the update only went against the criteria that you had set. And if the criteria is on another table, you're allowed to join to that table in your update statement. Lab 6.2, Skill Check 1. One of your movies in your TBL movie table was named incorrectly, movie ID 4, which was called Dare or Die. It should be called Dare the World to Try. Write an update statement that makes the change you see in the figure here. Read, review, and complete skill checks 2 through 5 you see on the screen. Pause as needed until you complete each one. Skill Check 6. Find every grant that was procured by an employee who works in Location 2 and change that grant amount to be equal to $20,000. When you're done, your screen should resemble the figure you see here. That does it for Lab 6.2 on updating data. Next item, Lab 6.3, deleting data.